Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends. If you're watching this video, then the Genestealer Cults have just been announced as the latest faction to come to Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus. I'm trying something a little bit different this time. A summary of the faction and their lore in about 7 minutes. Let me know your thoughts and if this is something you'd like me to continue doing. If you've come to my channel from outside Tacticus and you'd like to consider trying the game, press the download link in the video description below or use the QR code at the top of the screen. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. And lurking within the dark corners of the galaxy, an insidious threat grows in secret. The Genestealer Cults, hidden among humanity, are the seeds of an alien invasion, manipulating entire planets into rebellion for their dark extraterrestrial masters. Like a slow-acting poison, they spread their influence, turning friends, neighbors, and even families into unwitting instruments for their twisted cause. But what drives these shadowy cults, and how do they manage to subvert the mighty Imperium of Man? Today, we explore the terrifying lore behind Warhammer 40,000's Genestealer Cults, and uncover the dark truth that lies beneath their rise. To understand the Genestealer Cults, we must first look at their creators, the Tyranids. These ravenous extragalactic predators devour all life they encounter, sweeping through the galaxy like a plague of locusts on an unimaginable scale. Their single-minded purpose? Consume, adapt, evolve. Among their many bioengineered monstrosities, the Genestealer is one of the most insidious, designed for a far more subtle mission. Genestealers are sent ahead of Tyranid hive fleets as scouts and infiltrators, their purpose simple: infect and weaken civilizations long before the hive fleet arrives to finish the job. Unlike most Tyranids, Genestealers are not mindless beasts. They are highly intelligent and deadly hunters. Their real strength, however, lies in their ability to infect other sentient beings with their genetic code. This infection, gradual and insidious, is the cornerstone of their conquest. The Genestealer's most terrifying weapon is not its claws, but its ability to implant its genetic material into a host through the so-called Genestealer's kiss. This parasitic infection is more than just physical. It rewires the host's mind, binding them to the alien's will in an almost spiritual connection. At first, the changes are subtle: an unusual loyalty, an unshakable sense of purpose. The host may not even be aware of their corruption, but as the infection deepens, their body and mind are twisted, reshaped to serve the Genestealer's goals. Their offspring will no longer be fully human. Instead, hybrid generations are born, creatures that are part human, part alien, and utterly devoted to the Genestealer cause. These hybrids form the foundation of the Genestealer Cults, a hidden army growing within the shadows of society. Each new generation brings the cult closer to the Tyranid hive mind, becoming more alien in appearance and more fanatically loyal to their unseen masters. As more hosts are infected, entire families and communities unknowingly fall under the cult's sway. This infection is not just physical. It's spiritual, psychological, and societal, an invisible cancer eating away at the very heart of humanity. As the infection spreads, the Genestealer cult grows in size and influence, embedding itself deeper into the fabric of society. In hive cities and industrial world, the cult thrives among the disaffected, the oppressed, and the forgotten. What begins as whispers of discontent slowly grows into fervent underground movement. Entire sectors of the city are swayed, not just by force, but by the promise of salvation and deliverance. The cult's hierarchy is strict, with the patriarch, usually the first infected Genestealer, acting as its leader. Over time, the patriarch grows into a monstrous psychic being, connected directly to the Tyranid hive mind. With the help of the Magus, a powerful psyker who spreads the cult's religious dogma, and the Primus, a cunning military strategist, the cult begins to prepare for their ultimate uprising. Infiltration is the cult's greatest weapon. Leaders are bribed, officials blackmailed, and workers led into rebellion. The true scope of the cult's influence is often hidden, sometimes for decades, until it is too late to stop what's coming. All of the cult's efforts lead to one ultimate goal, the Day of Ascension. To the cultists, this is a moment of divine deliverance, a time when their star gods will descend to lift them to paradise. But the truth is far darker. The Day of Ascension is the moment when the Genestealers reveal themselves, sparking an all-out rebellion to destabilize the planet before the arrival of the Tyranid Hive fleet. On this day, riots break out, infrastructure collapses, and the loyal forces of the Imperium, whether the Astra Militarum, Adeptus Astartes, or planetary defense forces, find themselves outnumbered and overwhelmed. Even the strongest of defenses are often shattered by the sheer volume of cultists, now armed and ready for open war. And all the while, the Hive fleet draws closer, ready to consume the planet whole. The true horror of the Genestealer cults lies not just in their deception of others, but in their own delusion. These cultists genuinely believe that they are working towards a glorious future, a future where they will transcend their humanity and become one with the stars. They do not realize the cruel fate that awaits them. When the Hive fleet arrives, the cultists, like all other life on the planet, are consumed without hesitation, without mercy. The Genestealer cults represent one of the galaxy's most subtle and insidious threats. Unlike the brutal Chaos Legions or the savage Orcs, they work in the shadows, corrupting humanity from within. By the time their uprising begins, it is often far too late to stop the devastation. So next time you venture into the hive cities of the Imperium, remember, the person next to you may not be entirely human, and the shadows may be hiding far more than you realize. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is no escape from the shadows of the Genestealer cults. Okay, that's all I've got for today. Let me know if you enjoyed that and if you think I should continue doing this kind of lore content. I want to give a big shout out to my Patreons for giving me the platform to continue to do this kind of work. If you are a newer player who hasn't yet used their referral code, I'd love if you could consider entering mine as shown on screen. It earns you 100 Blackstone and supports me in the work that I do. These codes are single-use though, so choose who you support carefully. Bye for now.
Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!